The Ultimate Guide to Fast Fitness and Mind-Blowing Weight Loss. By Susan Jones. Introduction. There was a time in this world when the need to lose weight was completely ignored. People ate very well, but they worked hard to make up for it. They woke up early in the morning and then began in a long day's work. This work was mostly physical hands-on labor. Folks worked on fields digging, sowing, and harvesting. They tilled their soil, rode horses, worked on farms and ranches. The end result was they could afford to eat almost anything they wanted in whatever quantities they wanted. But that was many years ago, and lifestyles have changed. Most of us have sedentary jobs that demand little or no exercise at all. As a result, weight gain has become a major concern for almost every city dweller. Why do you want to lose weight? Seems like an obvious question, doesn't it? Scratch beneath the surface and you will find your true motivation that will keep you dedicated until you achieve your goal. What do you hope to get out of this program? Why do you want to lose weight? Is it simply because it was on your New Year's resolution list of goals to achieve? Is it for a reunion you'll be attending? Is it for a holiday? Is it to fit into your old clothes or perhaps a slinky little outfit you want to get into? I know it's difficult, but these days it seems that you can't turn a magazine page or change a channel without seeing an emaciated, skinny teenager touted as being the image we should all aspire to. The media images we are fed are false ideals. This is certainly not how regular people look, neither should we be forced into a mold to achieve it. We are all different and the world is a richer place for it. Just because we may not be 100 pounds, leggy and 5 feet 11 doesn't mean that we are not beautiful. Just because we don't fit into that template of what is deemed beautiful by an industry obsessed with perfection does not mean that we are incapable of ourselves being beautiful and looking our best. If you are carrying excess weight, losing some of that weight will peel back the layers and reveal your true physical beauty lying hidden beneath. You will unearth your beauty like chiseling away at a magnificent Michelangelo sculpture, pound by pound. You are your own masterpiece. Just remember, you can and will look great. So let's get back to the reason why you want to lose the weight. Sure, you want to look great, that's a given, but why else? Whatever the reason, it has to be one based on something more impacting than just wanting to lose a few pounds because of an event or for the sake of fitting into something. Sometimes we lose weight for the wrong reasons. Sometimes we have the misfortune of being on the wrong diets and are given incorrect information vital to our weight loss success. You need a more compelling reason to stick with your program because let's face it, times get difficult when you're tired, hungry, depressed or bored and you see the chocolate cake staring back at you screaming your name. Every cell in your body is telling you to eat the cake, every fiber of your being is trying to sway you from your purpose. Tell me, at this point, do you have a strong enough reason to prevent you from eating that cake? Probably not. The draw of the cake is far stronger than the appeal of the reunion or the size 0 outfit, and let me tell you why. It's because the cake is right there. The reality is right there in front of you in plain sight, and everything else, all of your weight loss goals, the reunion, the outfit, the fill-in-the-blank goal becomes just a faint whisper in the background by comparison. Why? Because you thought you could suppress all of those years of conditioning in 1 week. Your body is stronger than you think. That's not to say that you can't lose weight, you absolutely can, you just have to work with your body and not against it. Having said that, think of a worthwhile purpose to lose the weight if you haven't done so before. Something like, I want to lose weight because I want to gain a healthy respect for my body. I want to lose weight because I want to live longer for my family. I want to lose weight because I want to enjoy life more by doing the things that my weight restricts me from doing. I want to lose weight because I want to feel great about myself and my appearance. I want to lose weight because I want to travel and enjoy all that life has to offer me. I want to lose weight to have the strength and energy I need to enjoy life, like having the energy to chase my children. I want to lose weight so that I can be an active participant in my own life and not just a spectator. Now it's your turn. Something compelling. Something deeper than your usual New Year weight loss resolution. Something that will keep you grounded and anchored to your purpose. That way the lure of the cake is no match for wanting to watch your loved ones grow up around you. It won't even come close. Take your time and think of something that is truly worthy of you, and you will stick with it like glue. So why do I think you should lose weight? Because you are worth it and you deserve to have a full and truly wonderful life. Having the energy to fulfill that is a requirement. So get to it. Think of your compelling purpose. Think of a dozen, the more the better. It's not about the hourglass figure or the perfectly sculpted and toned body. It's more about staying fit and remaining healthy to ensure a long, disease-free life. Everyone knows those extra pounds just spell illness and disease. Other reasons why you may want to lose weight. No doubt a big reason why you want to lose weight is linked to your physical appearance. This scratches far below the surface than just wanting to lose weight to fit into something or simply hating the way your thighs look. Excess weight can impact on self-esteem. No one wants to be obese because it has so many negative connotations in our society. Because we believe we are not attractive and appealing to others can make us rethink our own self-worth and value. This can lead to social and emotional problems and distort the way we perceive ourselves as well as how we interact with others. This can become a vicious cycle within itself where we eat because of how we feel to medicate the pain, yet often end up feeling worse along with gaining even more weight. The cycle continues. Does your weight have emotional control over you? Psychologists are aware of the emotional effect weight can have on self-esteem, but the remaining medical world is just starting to wake up to this fact. Find out if weight gain has an emotional effect on you. Some brief questions. Are you conscious of your physical appearance when you are out in public? Are you comfortable with looking at yourself in the mirror, or do you avoid it? Are you concerned with what others think of your body? Do you feel that the only way you can truly be happy is to change the physical things you don't like about yourself? If you answered yes to any of the above questions, then it's possible that your weight has an emotional influence over you. Your appearance shouldn't keep you unhappy. Your appearance really should be the icing on the cake to the person you are within. You have the power to do something about it. You can either continue to live with it or do something about it. The fact that you are here says a lot about you and proves that you are willing to take action. I congratulate you for that and know you will find answers here. Just remember, this book aims to re-educate you and unlearn all of the bad habits you may have picked up over the years. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. You are about to experience some life-changing truths, so just stay with it and absorb as much as you can. Health issues. A big motivation for wanting to lose the weight could also be for health reasons. You don't have to be a genius to figure out that we are living in an obese nation. We are suffering in epic proportions from diseases our ancestors 100 years ago had never even heard of. You know the effects that carrying excess weight can have on the body, even in your joints and your lower back, but we often forget what impact this is having to our internal organs. Did you know that excess abdominal fat is the most dangerous type of fat to have? This is because this is most active of them all. The fat is packed around your intestines, your liver and heart, and interferes with the way those organs work. This fat secretes chemicals and hormones that inhibit proper function of those vital organs. It is also an indicator of type I diabetes and heart disease. For women, if your waist is more than 35 inches at the belly button, and for men if is more than 40 inches, then you lie within the high-risk category of heart disease, diabetes, blood pressure and stroke, and must lose weight. Excess fat in the body causes the arteries in your heart to become clogged, which raises your blood pressure to force the blood to your organs. Having just an extra 30 excess pounds forces your heart to work twice as hard to do the same job it did when you were just 30 pounds lighter. Excess blood pressure damages the blood vessels in your kidneys and can cause them to fail. High blood pressure is also linked with blindness caused from burst and bleeding blood vessels in the backs of the eyes. High blood pressure can also cause weakened blood vessels to burst and bleed on the brain, causing a stroke. Blood clots can also become lodged within narrowed arteries, also causing a stroke. Diabetes causes the blood to thicken, which raises the risk of blood clots forming, resulting in strokes and heart attacks from your already thickened arterial walls. So, as you can see, being overweight can cause a cascade effect on our health. It affects everything. Each organ relies upon the other to work effectively to keep us well. Throw any one of those off balance and it affects everything. The simplest solution is to just lose the weight. We seem to think that having a little less cake or cutting back on saturated fats is a death sentence, but not nearly as deadly as the one that plays havoc with our bodies when we choose to eat the foods that put us there. In a medical trial to test the long-term effects of excess weight on individuals, a study of around 600 people was conducted over a 14-year period. The results revealed that participants who were overweight had a 34% greater chance of heart failure than someone at their ideal weight. Participants who were obese had a massive 104% increase in risk of heart failure over someone at their ideal weight. Incredible what a little extra weight can do over a period of time. The difference between being overweight and obese. So what is the difference between being overweight and being obese? It is the BMI, body mass index, that differentiates between the two, whereby it is the weight above what is generally considered to be a healthy ideal weight for a specific height. For example, for adults whose BMI is between the range of 25 and 30 are considered to be overweight. For adults whose BMI is greater than 30 are considered to obese. You can determine your BMI by going here, http://www.nhlbijaport.com/bmi/. Sobering, isn't it? The fact that carrying even a little excess weight can have detrimental effects on our health is mind-blowing, and you don't even have to be morbidly obese for that to happen. Most medical professionals consider someone who is 5% to 15% above their ideal weight to be considered as overweight, whereas people who are 20% to 30% above their ideal weight are considered to be obese. Anything above 30% and you fall into the range of being morbidly obese. So what weight should you be? Find out your ideal weight for your height by going here, http://www.halls.md/idealweight/body.htm. There is no motivation quite like knowing the health risks associated with excess weight. By now you will know which category you lie within, and now you can lose the weight for more than just looking nice in a pair of jeans, but to extend your life expectancy and increase your quality and enjoyment of life. How did you get here? How did you get to this moment of realization that something had to happen? You had that moment, right? The aha moment that wakes you out of your slumber of denial. For whatever reason that brought you to this point, I congratulate you. Because you have recognized it, you can take action and do something about it. How did you get to this point in your life? How did you gain the weight in the first place? It is important to address the issue so that you can be made conscious of it and avoid being undone by it in future. Did you start eating more? Did you eat more of the wrong foods? Sometimes just eating more empty calories can increase weight. In fact, most obese people don't eat more than their slimmer counterparts. It's what they eat that's causing them to gain weight. Did your exercise patterns change? Did you eat out of boredom? Are you an emotional eater? You need to think about it. Really study and examine how you eat. What is the thought that leads to the action? Why we eat. Emotional hunger. We are creatures of habit. We have amassed lots of habits that have been developed over the years that sometimes become subconscious. We are not aware of the things we do until we purposely take notice of them. For instance, observing the thought that leads to the action of us reaching for the cookie. What was the thought? Were we feeling upset, distressed, depressed, angry? If you find you want to reach for the jar of cookies, catch yourself in that moment. Examine your thinking. How are you feeling? What state of mind are you in? What is your mood? Disrupt your pattern by forming a new one. Rather than indulging your craving, count back slowly from 100. With each number you find yourself wanting the cookies less and less. This is because you are disrupting your usual pattern of behavior and consciously replacing it with a new one. You'll find that after 100 that cookie won't be as tempting as it was. Emotional eating can also extend to happiness too. Childhood habits can see us overindulge for doing something good, which can spill into adulthood where we treat ourselves with food for rewards. This is fine as long as it's periodically. There are ways to treat yourself other than eating. Why not get your nails or your hair done? Why not treat yourself to a nice hot bath and a facial? Why not have a healthy lunch with the boys or the girls? There are other rewarding ways to treat yourself that are not based around tempting treats. It's just a matter of thinking a little outside the square and replacing old habits with new and healthier ones. Boredom eating. If you find yourself reaching for that tempting delicious high-fat food because you have nothing else to do, why not call a friend for a chat? Why not take up a sport and meet up with your friends instead? Guaranteed you'll have so much fun you won't even be thinking about junk food. Mistaken hunger. It should be a healthy appetite that drives us to eat. When our energy needs replenishing because we've depleted our energy stores, our appetite signals for us to eat. It is a simple biological reflex. We get hungry, we eat. Sometimes our hunger is more psychological than physical, and thinking our body is hungry, we feed it. If you have eaten your last meal within the past 2 hours, more often than not it will be thirst, which your body can sometimes interpret as hunger. If you know you have just had your last meal within a short time frame ago, why not try drinking a glass of water, then waiting 30 minutes for the brain to register it? If you are still hungry after this time period, then have a light snack. Sometimes we eat out of boredom. If you find yourself sitting around and instinctively reaching for the fridge or the pantry, catch yourself. It's all about replacing bad habits with good ones, because that is what will make your weight loss a permanent success. It goes far deeper than losing weight for the sake of it, but rather arming you with the tools to make sure you really succeed this time. Why we need a permanent solution is because we are reprogramming ourselves and our attitude towards our food. Look at this way. It took years to form these habits, and it will take a little time to break them and create newer, healthier habits in its place. Nothing is more apparent than when we eliminate all of our favorite foods at once. Our body goes into shock, tries to override our good intentions and sabotages our efforts. Another diet bites the dust simply because we weren't aware of how we conditioned our bodies over the years. Our bodies are marvelous pieces of machinery and will stop at nothing to preserve us at all costs. That means that if we drastically reduce our food intake, our body will shut down our metabolism to force us to eat. When we do, we binge and gain back all the lost pounds we fought so hard to lose. Don't hate your body for that, it is just doing what comes naturally. So how do we get around this? Work in alignment with your body. Introduce changes gradually. Don't shock your body or it will thwart your best intentions to lose weight. Follow these tips below and watch those extra pounds melt away. Tip 1. Drink plenty of water. Water is not just way to flush out toxins. If you have more water in your body, you will generally feel healthier and more fit. It also helps you feel full, so you don't have the urge to eat so much. And water has no calories at all. Tip 2. Start your day with a glass of water. It's a wonderful way to start your day. A glass of water lubricates your insides. You can still have your morning cup of tea, but have it after a glass of water. Tip 3. Drink a glass of water before you eat each meal. Water takes up space in your stomach, so you feel fuller without eating as much. Tip 4. Have another glass of water while you are having your meal. Again, this is another way of making yourself full. Instead of drinking it all at once, take a sip after each bite of food. It will help the food settle and you'll feel full faster. Tip 5. Stay away from sweetened bottled drinks, especially sodas. They are full of sugar and calories. Tip 6. Include foods that contain more water, like tomatoes and watermelons. They contain 90–95% water, so feast on them as much as you like. They fill you up without adding pounds. Tip 7. Eat fresh fruit instead of drinking fruit juice. Juice is often sweetened with sugar, but fresh fruit has natural sugars. When you eat fruit, you are taking in a lot of fiber, which the body needs, and fruit is an excellent source of vitamins. Tip 8. If you have a craving for fruit juice, try making your own. There are lots of juicing machines on the market. Tip 9. Choose fresh fruit instead of processed fruit. Processed and canned fruit does not have as much fiber as fresh fruit, and processed and canned fruit is nearly always sweetened with sugar. Tip 10. Increase your fiber intake. Your body needs a lot of fiber, so try to include it in your diet. Eat as many fruits and vegetables as you can. Tip 11. Eat lots of vegetables. Leafy green vegetables are the best. Include a salad in your meal plan every day. Tip 12. Eat intelligently. Choose your foods wisely. Instead of grabbing chips or candy bars, grab a fruit or vegetable. Tip 13. Watch what you eat. Sometimes the garnishes can be richer than the food itself. Accompaniments can be very rich too. Tip 14. Control your sweet tooth. Sweets generally mean calories. You don't have to cut sweets out of your diet completely, but eat them in moderation. Every sweet you put in your mouth adds fat cells to your body. Tip 15. Develop a meal schedule and stick to it. Try to have food at fixed times of the day. You can stretch these times by half an hour, but anything more is going to affect your eating pattern. Tip 16. Eat only when you are hungry. Some of us have a tendency to eat whenever we see food. Tip 17. Quit snacking between meals. The main problem with most snacks and junk food is, they are usually less filling and contain a lot of fat and calories. Tip 18. Snack on vegetables if you have to snack. Tip 19. Go easy on tea and coffee. Tea and coffee are harmless by themselves, but when you add cream and sugar they become fattening. Having a cup of tea or coffee with cream and sugar is as bad as having a piece of chocolate cake. Tip 20. Drink black tea/coffee. Black tea or coffee can actually be good for you. But personally I would like to recommend tea rather than coffee. The caffeine in the coffee is not really good for you because it is an alkaloid and can affect other functions of your body like the metabolism. Tip 21. Count the calories as you eat. Check the label of any packaged product for the number of calories and the serving size. For unpackaged food, buy a calorie counting book. Tip 22. If you consume more calories than you should one day, add a bit of extra physical activity to your routine for the following day. Tip 23. Stay away from fried foods. The oil used for frying penetrates into the food and adds unwanted calories. Tip 24. Do not skip meals. The worst thing you can do while watching your weight is skip a meal. It has just the opposite effect of what you want. You need to have at least 3 regular meals every day. Tip 25. Fresh vegetables are better than cooked or canned vegetables. Try to eat your vegetables raw. When you cook them, you are removing nearly half the vitamins. Tip 26. 1 egg a day. It's best if you reduce your egg intake to 3 a week. If you're in the habit of eating eggs every day, limit your eggs to 1 a day maximum. Tip 27. Make chocolates a luxury and not a routine. Tip 28. Choose a variety of foods from all food groups every day. In addition to helping you lose weight, it also helps your body fight deficiency diseases. Change the foods you eat each day so you do not get bored of your diet. Tip 29. Very limited on or alcoholic beverages. Tip 30. Try to have breakfast within 1 hour of waking up, so your body can charge itself with the energy it needs for the day. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but it does not mean that it should be the most filling meal of the day. Tip 31. 55% of your diet should be carbohydrates. It is a myth that you should try and avoid carbohydrates when you are on a diet. Carbohydrates are an instant source of energy. Tip 32. 30% of your diet should be proteins. Protein is an active part of keeping your body healthy. Tip 33. Fats should only be 15%. 20% of your diet. Tip 34. Try and adopt a vegetarian-style diet. A vegetarian diet is healthy, but research has shown it often is missing vital minerals that come from eating meat. If you try a vegetarian diet, allow yourself to eat meat on the weekends. Tip 35. Choose white meat rather than red. White meat, which includes fish and fowl, is healthier than red meat. Tip 36. High-fiber multigrain breads are better than white breads. Multigrain breads allow you to increase your fiber and protein intake. Tip 37. Reduce your intake of pork. Pork is not something that can help you to lose weight. So the lesser pork you eat, the better chances you have of losing weight. And remember that pork includes the pork products as well, things like bacon, ham and sausages. Tip 38. Limit your sugar intake. Use sugar substitutes to sweeten your food. They are just as sweetening, but not fattening. Tip 39. Graze 5 to 6 times a day. Instead of sticking to just 3 meals a day, try grazing. Grazing means having 5 or 6 smaller meals instead of 3 large meals. It is an excellent way of having smaller quantities of food. Tip 40. Cheat food occasionally, but only for flavor. There are many foods you need to avoid in your diet, but you may have an undying craving for them. Do not avoid them altogether. Indulge in them once in a while, but only in moderation. Don't use them to fill up, but simply to fill a craving. Enjoy the flavor. Tip 41. Watch your fat intake. Each fat gram contains 9 calories. By knowing the total calories and the quantity of fat in your food, you can estimate the percentage of fat. Fat content should not exceed 30%. I've given you all those starting tips to help you diet. Now I'm going to share with you ways to expedite this weight loss process by squeezing exercise into your busy schedule. Fitness. Fit exercise into your busy schedule? That's as crazy as saying that there are 8 days in a week. First, you've never exercised before or regularly played a sport. Second, you've never been into the fitness crowd, and third, you're far too busy to even think about exercise. In other words, you're just not into it. Of course your friends talk about it and rave about the latest fitness craze, but you have seen it too often. Some of them are on the on-again off-again treadmill Stairmaster mania, and you wonder why they haven't shed the fat that they're desperately still trying to hide. Seeing what your friends go through and not seeing any results, you cling to the notion that your total lack of interest is justified. You're not the least bit inclined to engage in these circus-like contortions or do those mindless freestyle strokes in the water. That would only encroach into your already busy schedule of juggling family, home and career. These 3 combined, husband/children/work, are your exercise. Before tackling the idea of fitting exercise into your busy schedule, it might be better if we start with the concept of self-assessment and then familiarize ourselves with the disease prevention aspect of exercise. Once you've accepted the fact that exercise is good for your health, then you can consider some of the ways you can include it into your life. Assessing physical damage and accepting the importance of exercise. Lifespan and physical appearance. The average lifespan is 80 years, give or take a few years. The truth is, a significant number of people look and feel 80 before their time. They have sagging dry skin, unsightly posture, and uneven and unsteady walk, aching joints. If their outward appearance is bad, Imagine what the inside machinery is like. Most likely, it's even worse. Clogged blood vessels, heart problems, mounds of sugar and fat packed in or around vital organs, conditions such as diabetes, nervous tension, high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease that are silently brewing. If fitness authorities had it their way, they'd create legislation to make exercise mandatory as soon as a baby leaves the cradle, not during the teenage years when obesity is likely to strike. But fitness shouldn't be associated with any age. You can start at 10 or at 30. Even at 50 or 60. Fitness should not be seen as the cure for an illness you already have, but as preventative maintenance. Assessing your fitness level. Brad King and Dr. Michael Schmidt in BioAge, 10 Steps to a Younger You have devised a questionnaire for assessing physical damage to a body as a result of no exercise. We will borrow some of their guidelines. Start with the question, how do I look? Do any of these answers apply to you? Am I overweight? Do I look like an apple or pear? Do I have a spare tire? Has my skin become excessively dry, almost paper thin? Next, ask, how do I feel? Do my joints hurt before or after any physical exertion? Am I constantly worried and anxious? Do I feel tired and sluggish most of the time? Do I suffer from mood swings? Last question, how am I doing? Is walking and climbing stairs difficult? Do I have problems concentrating? Is running impossible for me now? Am I unable to sit straight, preferring to slouch or stoop my shoulders? You've completed your basic assessment. Note, however, that other exercise or fitness gurus will have their own parameters or indices for assessing your body's overall state, turning you into a fitness buff. After going through the assessment phase, you're probably experiencing a rude awakening. Slowly but surely. In fact, slowly but surely was probably what motivated Denise Austin to come up with her popular 1-minute exercises. She had two types of people in mind when she designed the 1-minute movements. Uninitiated people on the go. It's a quickie society we live in, we want everything quick, especially exercise. Benefits of exercise. If you make exercise part of your day, Denise Austin believes you will already experience some noticeable benefits. These include, waking up in the morning feeling refreshed, walking with a gait, having energy left at the end of the day, feeling more optimistic about recreation, sleeping more soundly at night. More benefits of exercise. The benefits above are general. Let's examine the more specific benefits of exercise on specific parts of the body. As described by Goldberg and Elliott, exercise prevents heart disease. The average ratio of total cholesterol to HDL cholesterol, good cholesterol, is about 4.5. If this ratio doubles or reaches 7, you double your chances of developing coronary heart disease. You reduce that risk by as much as 50% if your ratio is 3 or lower. The lowdown on cholesterol. Not all cholesterol is bad. You have the good one, HDL1 and HDL2, the not so bad one, VLDL, and the harmful one, LDL. To get your ratios, divide the total amount of your cholesterol by your amount of HDL. The lower the ratio you have, the better. 1. Exercise prevents osteoporosis. 28 million Americans have osteoporosis. 80% are women. Only quarter of this 80% know they have the condition and only half are being treated. The annual osteoporosis bill to the United States is $14 billion. 1. Dr. Lynn Goldberg and Dr. Diane Elliott. The Healing Power of Exercise. John Wiley & Sons. New York. 2000. Studies have shown that sufficient amounts of calcium and regular exercise build strong bones. While genetics play a major role in developing the risks of osteoporosis, individuals can control some factors that will help prevent the problem. Peak bone mass is attained in your 20s. Starting an exercise program while still young, even if you live in the fast lane, will help you avoid bone disease. Exercise prevents diabetes. People are still debating how much exercise an individual needs, but for people with type 2 diabetes, exercising 3 or more times a week improves fitness and blood sugar levels. If you have type 2 diabetes and are overweight, exercise done with the following parameters would be of tremendous benefit: intensity of 60%, 70% maximal heart rate, with duration of 30 or more minutes, 4 to 7 days each week. 2. There have been hundreds of documented reports that reveal how people's lives have significantly improved and the remarkable transformation that their bodies experience after they made the decision to take ownership of their weight and fat problems. In fact, Diane Reinhardt, former Toronto Magazine editor and writer, wrote in the Montreal Gazette on December 12, 2005, "What we're hearing about is waiting times in emergency and operating rooms for ailments such as hip replacements, heart surgery and amputations. That's a shame because the fact is, if we dealt with obesity, we wouldn't be facing the epidemics of heart disease, stroke, arthritis and diabetes that clog our hospital waiting rooms and doors." 3. How to include exercise. Feeling overwhelmed by the amount of time your friends and colleagues spend in the gym? Turned off by the idea of a tennis game that entails not only the hour-long match but also getting to the tennis club, changing into a tennis outfit and then showering afterwards? To Goldberg and Elliott. 3 newspaper article. The Cutting the Fat Issue That Politicians Ignore. Montreal Gazette. December 12, 2005. You think, that's almost 3 hours, 3 hours I could devote to nurturing my clients and expanding my sales territory. The bad news is, being penny wise and pound foolish does not work in any circumstance, especially where fitness and health are concerned. Are those 3 hours worth skipping during a given week when you know that years of optimum health can be yours if you had a positive attitude accompanied by reasonable doses of discipline? A simple exercise program. Instead of ignoring exercise altogether, here's a suggestion for integrating it into your busy schedule. Think of exercise like you think of a major task in the office. Break it up into tinier components. Instead of spending 2 hours in the gym or in the tennis court like your friends do, ask your trainer to divide your workout program. Suggestion A. 30 minutes 4 times a week. That is, 20 minutes cardio, 10 minutes weights, 1 muscle group, for example legs. Suggestion B. 30 minutes 3 times a week mon. 20 minutes cardio plus 10 minutes stretching, TUS. 20 minutes weights, 2 muscle groups, for example back and abdominals, plus 10 minutes of cardio. WED. 20 minutes cardio plus 10 minutes of weights. 2 muscle groups, for example triceps or chest, biceps or shoulders. Suggestion C. 20 minutes 5 days a week. Week 1, all cardio. Week 2, weights. Week 3, cardio on mon/wed/fry. Week 4, weights on Tues/ths. Repeat the entire cycle when you get to month 2. Frequency and intensity. Ideally, you should gradually increase the frequency or intensity, or both. But if you're busy, and definitely can't spare more than 30 minutes a day, then increase your intensity. This means if your cardio involves the treadmill, take the notch up 1 level. If you started with level 3, go on to level 4 on month 2. For your weight training, if you started with 5-pound weights, graduate into 7.5 pounds in month 2. And then on those days when your day is not filled with meetings, try to stay an extra 5 to 10 minutes. Be realistic with your goals, especially when you're just starting. Increasing frequency and intensity too soon can overwhelm you, making you want to give up. Variety is the spice of life. Another way to integrate exercise into a busy schedule is to vary the fitness routine. Variety promotes interest in maintaining your workout schedule. Without variety, boredom sets in, causing you to drop out. Walk before you run. If you're an absolute beginner, a full-blown workout which incorporates cardio, weights, and flexibility may scare or discourage you. The idea is to start with small steps. Do one exercise segment at a time. Besides, very few people can accomplish a 2-hour workout more than once or twice a week. Another way of doing it would be to integrate your favorite sport, swimming, cycling or walking, during the week and an activity like yoga. Time management. If your schedule gets you up and running beginning at 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening, this day represents 12 hours. There are 24 hours in a day and we're not recommending you get up at 2 in the morning to do your exercise. But you could get up half an hour early and use the extra time for some type of physical activity. If you do this 3 times a week, that means you get 90 minutes of exercise each week. One easy way to do this is to do yoga in the morning. It requires only a mat and comfortable, loose clothing, or turn on the Jane Fonda CD/DVD, or buy a treadmill, the foldable ones, that you can jump into as soon as you wake up. Another time management tip: not only do busy managers have back-to-back meetings, they also have luncheon and dinner meetings to meet with clients. Assess each client. Do all of them really need to be wined and dined? Is an hour-long meeting absolutely necessary? Can't a deal be negotiated on the phone? See how many meetings you can cancel or shorten. Then fit your fitness program into those slots that have been freed up. How about this? Instead of going to lunch with clients every day of the week, why don't you schedule lunch meetings for say Monday and Tuesday? This way you can incorporate a fitness routine for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. A brisk walk inside or outside the office building, a quick swim in the neighborhood hotel pool, a Pilates course in the recreational center, lifting dumbbells while on the phone. Any of these exercises is better than no exercise. Your guiding principle should be to move as frequently as you can manage it. Cubicle fitness. Just as ergonomic experts recommend that office workers take their eyes off their computer screen every hour or so, fitness experts are advocating getting up from your chair and taking a brisk walk up and down the stairs. When you feel the need to take a break, offer to pick up supplies for your colleagues, take the mail downstairs instead of waiting for the trolley, or think of something you could put in your car instead of waiting until 5 p.m. That way, you force yourself to get up from your seat and walk for a few minutes. If you look into the private offices of some people, you'll see dumbbells, mats and elastic bands. These are clues that they are doing some exercise while on the job, a good and healthy practice to adopt by busy individuals with hectic schedules. Family exercises on the weekends. When you join the family in their activities, try to integrate exercise into these activities. If the children are into cycling, join them for bike rides. Are they off to their swimming lessons or skating lessons? See if you can sign up in the adults section, or take a walk outside the recreational center while waiting for them. Chores burn calories. Who says you can't burn calories while doing housework or gardening? Take a breather from your hectic schedule and devote some downtime to tending to your lawn, trimming your rose bushes, scrubbing the kitchen and bathroom floors, etc. Walk. Don't drive. Park your car far away so you can walk to the front door of the office, to the entrance of the mall, to the doctor's office and to the post office. Busy traveler? You can fit exercise into your trips. Hopping in and out of planes is exercise enough, you say. But that's not the kind of exercise that will condition your heart, make your reflexes and joints more fluid, keep your sugar levels in check or stop mood swings. Nor is it the kind of exercise that will make you euphoric after a good cardiovascular session. You need to counteract the effects of jet lag, artificial air in pressurized aircraft cabins and sky fatigue. Suzanne Schlossberg says, sometimes your travels help you recognize how humdrum your workout routine has become. At home, it's easy to fall into a rut, to use the same weight machines in the same order, week after week, month after month, simply out of habit. But a trip may take the routine out of your routine. You may have no choice but to try new strength exercises or jog in the pool instead of swim laps. And you might find these new pursuits so enjoyable that you add them to your fitness repertoire at home. 4. For Suzanne Schlossberg. The Ultimate Workout Guide for the Road. Houghton Mifflin Company, Boston, USA. 2002. Some nice hotels have spa facilities that you can enjoy while on a business trip. Reward yourself with a facial or a massage after a session on the treadmill or 10 laps in the pool. This is a great way to unwind for the evening, and an added bonus for the individual on the go. Common obstacles. What are some of the reasons why travelers do not incorporate exercise while they're on the road? They're stressed or too tired, they don't feel comfortable about working out in unfamiliar surroundings, they don't have access to a hotel gym. But if they made just a tiny effort to change this thinking, they'd be on the road to fitness sooner. Engaging in exercise allows you to get out of that bubble of meetings, seminars and tours. Walk when on the road. When traveling, have a pair of good walking shoes, preferably trainers, so that you won't feel so daunted about getting from one side of the airport to the other. Having the right pair of walking shoes will encourage you to walk up the stairs instead of take the escalator, to walk instead of taking the conveyor belt, and to transfer from one concourse to another on foot instead of taking the shuttle service. You may not know it, but walking these long distances with your luggage in tow serves as a combination/weightlifting exercise. Fitness while flying. Once settled comfortably on the plane, make sure you time your stretching and walking periods. If it's just an hour's flight, walk around the plane once and do your stretching at the back of the plane. If it's a 3-hour to 5-hour flight, try to get up from your seat and walk around at least once every hour, doing leg extensions and trunk/neck movements. Airlines such as Japan Airlines show videos of how travelers can incorporate flexibility movements while seated or standing. Take full advantage of these videos. The exercises may help you ward off fatigue and jet lag. A note about DVT: in the last 5 years, there have been reports about flight passengers, especially in economy class, suffering from DVT, deep vein thrombosis. The link between confining airplane seats and deaths from DVT, formation of deadly blood clots, has been established by the United Nations World Health Organization. It has nothing to do with gender, risk factors or genetics. Everyone is at risk in economy class. 5. This should constitute a compelling reason to integrate exercise while high in the sky. To make exercise possible while traveling, try to schedule your flights so you have some time for exercise when you get to your destination. Try to arrive during the late afternoon/early evening, to give you time to shake off the fatigue from the trip, and have at least an hour to do exercises either in your hotel room or in the hotel gym. Important to do things when traveling. Be fully rested before a trip. Have the usual to pack items ready well in advance so you're not scampering for them at the last minute, depleting your energy levels. Time your sleep correctly. As soon as you board, get the local time of your destination and set your watch accordingly. If it's already night time in your destination, wear blindfolds and ask for a pillow and try to catch a few winks. Drink plenty of water. Wine and cocktails will only dehydrate you further. Note that humidity levels inside aircraft is below 10%, so water is your best bet. If your job requires you to travel at least 4 times a month, ask your company's travel department to book you in hotels with gyms or a swimming pool. Take time out of your travel schedule to insert a workout into your grinding schedule. Here's a friendly suggestion. Get up earlier in the morning and before or after breakfast, head over to the gym and do a brisk walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes, or use the rowing machine for 10 minutes. This session is just to wake you up from your travel stupor. See if you can walk to your business appointment instead of taking a cab. 5. www.brightlife.com. At night, before going to bed, Go to the hotel gym again and lift weights for 10 minutes, to complete your workout for the day. This way you did your cardio and resistance training, two essential components of a fitness program. Metabolism. What is metabolism? Some people think metabolism is a kind of organ, or a body part, that influences digestion. Actually, the metabolism isn't a body part. Metabolism is the process of turning food, for example nutrients, into fuel, for example energy. The body uses this energy to conduct a vast array of essential functions. In fact, your ability to read this page is driven by your metabolism. If you had no metabolism you wouldn't be able to move. In fact, long before you realized that you couldn't move a finger or lift your foot, your internal processes would have stopped, because the basic building blocks of life, circulating blood, transforming oxygen into carbon dioxide, expelling potentially lethal wastes through the kidneys and so on, all of these depend on metabolism. Although we think of our metabolism as a single function, it's really a catch-all term for countless functions that are taking place inside the body. Every second of every minute of every day of your life numerous chemical conversions are taking place through metabolism, or metabolic functioning. In a certain light, the metabolism has been referred to as a harmonizing process that manages to achieve two critical bodily functions that seem to be at odds with each other. Anabolism and catabolism. Our bodies are continually creating more cells to replace dead or dysfunctional cells. For example, if you cut your finger, your body starts the process of creating skin cells to clot the blood and start the healing process instantly. This creation process is a metabolic response, and is called anabolism. On the other hand, there is the exact opposite activity taking place in other parts of the body. Instead of building cells and tissue, the body is breaking down energy so the body can function. For example, as you exercise, your body temperature rises and your heartbeat increases. As this happens, your body requires more oxygen, so your breathing increases. If your body couldn't adjust to this enhanced requirement for oxygen, you would collapse. And all of this requires additional energy. Presuming that you aren't overdoing it, your body will begin converting food into energy in a metabolic process called catabolism. Your metabolism is a constant process that works in two seemingly opposite ways. Anabolism uses energy to create cells, and catabolism breaks down cells to create energy. The metabolism is a harmonizer. It brings together two seemingly opposite functions, and does so in an optimal way that enables the body to create cells as needed, and break them down, again as needed. Metabolism and weight loss. Calories. Calories are simply units of measure, not actual things. They are labels like an inch, which really isn't anything, but it measures the distance between 2 points. So what do calories measure? Energy. Your body creates energy from the food you eat, whether it's healthy food or not. It creates energy from fruits and vegetables using the same process that it uses to create energy from chocolate bars and candy. While you know it's better for your body to get energy from fruits and vegetables, your body doesn't evaluate the food. It creates energy from whatever you feed it. It sounds strange, but the body really doesn't care. To the body, energy is energy. It takes whatever it gets, and doesn't really know that some foods are healthier than others. It's kind of like a garbage disposal. It takes what you put down it, whether it should go down or not. So let's apply this to the body, and to weight gain. When the body receives a calorie, it must do something with that energy. If a carrot delivers 100 calories to the body, it has to accept those 100 calories. The same goes for 200 calories from chocolate bars and candy. The body does one of two things to the energy: it either metabolizes it via anabolism, or it metabolizes it via catabolism. That is, it will either convert the energy, calories, into cells/tissue, or it will use that energy, calories, to break down cells. When there is an excess of energy, and the body can't use this energy to deal with any needs at the time, it will be forced to create cells with that extra energy. It has to. It doesn't necessarily want to, but after figuring out that the energy can't be used to do anything, such as help you exercise or digest some food, it has to turn it into cells through anabolism. And those extra cells? Yup, you guessed it, added weight. In a nutshell, the whole calorie/metabolism/weight gain thing is really just about excess energy. When there are too many calories in the body, they are transformed into fat. Techniques to boost your metabolism. Exercise. Cardiovascular, aerobic, exercise is an essential part of boosting your metabolism. Increasing your heart rate, blood circulation, body temperature, and oxygen intake/carbon dioxide exchange, all send messages to your metabolic system to initiate catabolism, breaking down cells and using them for energy. Build more muscle. There are many people, especially women, are very wary about an exercise program that can lead to muscle building. There is a common perception that muscle building leads to muscle bulking, and before long, they'll take on the shape of a bodybuilder. So why should you focus on building more muscle? It just so happens that a pound of muscle burns more than a pound of fat. So you can conclude that the more muscle you have, the more calories you'll burn. Interval exercising. If you can train your body to require more energy, your body will comply by breaking cells down to deliver it. And the process of metabolism burns calories. Interval training is simply adding a high-energy burning component to your exercise plan on an infrequent, or interval, basis. Giving an example to describe interval training, say for instance jog for 20 minutes every other day, you're boosting your metabolism and burning calories/energy. But you can actually burn disproportionately more calories if, during the 20-minute jog, you add a 30-second or 1-minute sprint. Why? Because during this 30 seconds or 1 minute, you give your body a bit of a jolt. Not an unhealthy jolt, but enough that your body has to turn things up a bit. And to make up for your extra energy requirements, the body will burn more calories. Interval training only works when it's at intervals. The metabolism boosting benefits you enjoy as a result of interval training are primarily due to the fact that your body suddenly needs to find more energy. While it was chugging along and supplying your energy needs during your cardiovascular exercise, it all of a sudden needs to grab some more for 30 seconds or a minute, and in that period, it will boost your metabolism even further. If you decided to extend your 30-second or 1-minute sprint into a 20-minute sprint, you simply wouldn't experience all of the benefits. Yes, your body would use more energy if you extend yourself to the higher range of your aerobic training zone. But your body won't necessarily get the jolt that only comes from interval training. So remember, your goal with interval training is to give your body a healthy jolt where it suddenly says to itself, "Whoa! We need more energy here fast." This person has increased their heart rate from 180 beats per minute to 190 beats per minute. Let's go to any available cell, like those fat cells down at the waist, and break them down via catabolism so this person can get the energy that they need. Interval training can last longer than 30 seconds or a minute. Some experts suggest that you can use interval training for 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your state of health and what your overall exercise regimen looks like. The reason we're focusing on 30 seconds to 1 minute is simply to give you a clear understanding that interval training is a kind of mini training within a training program. And, as always, don't overdo it with your interval training. Your goal here is to become healthier and stronger, and lose weight in that process. You gain nothing if you run so fast or bike so hard during interval training that you hurt yourself. You will actually undermine your own health, and possibly have to stop exercising while torn muscles or other ailments heal. Variety. There are a few easy ways to add variety to your exercise program. In addition to interval training, you can break up along the routine into smaller parts. For example, instead of committing to 1 times 1 hour workout a day, it can be split into 2 times 30-minute workouts, or even 3 times 20-minute workouts. You can also work in additional exercise into your daily routine by doing things like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or starting your day with a brisk walk instead of a coffee and the newspaper. Instead of parking close to the entrance of a building, park as far away as possible and walk. All of these tips provide 2 metabolism-boosting benefits. First, they can make exercising more fun. While it's important to have an exercise routine, you don't want to have a boring exercise routine, because then your chances of stopping are that much greater. So adding these new elements to your overall exercise commitment simply helps encourage you to stick with the program. And since exercising is a core part of boosting your metabolism, any technique or tip that helps you continue exercising over the long term is a wise piece of advice. The second important benefit of variety in your exercise program leads us back to the interval training concept, discussed above. When you add variety to your workout, your body cannot get into a groove. Remember, the body is a remarkable piece of work, and will always strive to do things efficiently. Naturally, the overall state of your health, which can be influenced by genetics and other factors outside of your control, will play a role in how efficiently your body runs. But regardless of how your body is put together, it wants to do things as efficiently as it possibly can. So when you start exercising, your body develops an expectation of energy output. It's not doing this to be lazy, it's doing this because it's efficient. If your body starts to predict that you need a certain amount of energy to complete a 20-minute jog, but then you jog for 2 minutes, followed by 5 minutes of walking, 2 minutes of jogging and 1 minute of sprinting, your body may require a great deal more energy to help you achieve this. As a result, you may find yourself very out of breath or tired as your body strives to meet this increased demand. Naturally, catabolism will be involved and your body metabolism will increase. But over time, maybe a month or so, your body will simply become more efficient. It will become stronger, and will be able to supply your energy needs much more efficiently. Your health has improved and your body has to work less to provide you with your energy needs. Ironically, this can actually obscure your metabolism-boosting efforts, because you want your body to start the catabolism process. But if your body is efficiently working, it won't dig into its reserves, for example fat cells, in order to provide you with the energy you need. So the trick is to keep variety in your workouts. Many people choose to cross-train. It targets different muscle groups, but it keeps your body from finding a groove whereby it tried to help you by slowing down your metabolism. Remember, your body doesn't read books like this. It doesn't need to, and it doesn't care. It has no clue that a speedier metabolism is good or bad. Lifestyle. Balancing work, family, hobbies, and other commitments often means that our lifestyle isn't so much a choice, as it is a necessity, but we can do little things that help speed up our metabolism. Get on the wagon. Do you know people who carefully choose low-fat, low-calorie meal choices, are very disciplined when it comes to resisting the chef's special pecan pie for dessert, yet order a glass or 2 of wine with their meal? These people are undermining their efforts to boost their metabolism. Studies show that drinking alcohol with meals actually encourages overeating, which means more calories that need to be burned away or transformed into fat. Many people are simply unaware that many alcoholic drinks are laden with calories, almost as much as sugary soft drinks. A bottle of beer or a cocktail is a few hundred calories. Wine is less, but still adds your calorie count. The tip here isn't to stop drinking alcohol altogether, but to be aware that it's adding to your calorie intake. Sleep. Most of us don't have as much control over the amount that we sleep as we should. Work, family, education, housekeeping, and so many other tasks can literally prevent us from getting the amount of sleep that we need. Experts tell us, Getting enough sleep actually improves metabolism. People who are constantly sleep deprived typically find that they have less energy to do regular, daily activities. As a result, sleep-deprived people often lower their own metabolism. They simply don't have the strength to break down food efficiently, particularly carbohydrates. This is a very difficult issue, because many people can only find time to exercise by borrowing from their rest time. For example, after a long day of work and dealing with family and home commitments, a person may find the only time they have to exercise is late at night. So what should you do? Ultimately, it's a question of balance. Naturally, if you're willing to exercise, and your doctor agrees that it's healthy for you, then you're not going to get fit by sleeping instead of exercising. Yet, if you steal time away from your sleep in order to exercise, you can actually do more harm than good, because the following day, you won't have enough energy to digest what you eat. The answer to this catch-22 lies in balance. You don't have to work out every night. Or perhaps you can integrate a workout into your life during the day, maybe at lunchtime or right after work. Most fitness clubs are open very early, some are even open 24 hours. You can also get some fitness equipment for your home and work out there. If you find you have trouble sleeping, this can also negatively affect the speed of your metabolism, because you won't have enough energy the following day. Insomnia and other sleep disorders are very common problems. Some non-medical tips to help you fall asleep include: don't eat late at night. Try drinking warm milk before bedtime. Don't turn on the TV at night. Try yoga or other stress-relieving practices. Try having a warm bath before bedtime. Don't exercise close to bedtime. Your body can become so energized that it doesn't want to sleep. Relax. We briefly noted yoga in the list of things to do above, and that brings us to another key influence of your metabolism: stress. Experts believe stress can send unwanted signals to our body, signals that lead to slower metabolism. Essentially, when the body is under constant stress, it releases stress hormones that flood the system. These stress hormones actually tell the body to create larger fat cells in the abdomen. The result can be both increased weight and a slower metabolism. Some easy stress relievers are: interpunct walk more, interpunct listening to relaxing music, interpunct meditate, interpunct practice yoga, interpunct eat non-stimulating foods, for example no caffeine, no sugar, and so on. Interpunct recenter yourself and distress. So there's a link between how much stress you experience and your ability to break down cells and lose weight. If you don't want to relax, because you don't have the time, your stressed-out life is probably playing a role in your weight gain or your inability to lose weight. Congratulations. Why am I congratulating you? I'm doing so because you have the patience to read through this book I made for you. While reading this ebook you could have went off and did a million other things, but you didn't, or may have to only come to finish laughing out loud. Nevertheless, you made it to the end. This shows that you truly want to have the body of your dreams. To be honest, to possess that burning desire is much of the battle. You should feel good about yourself because you're taking action. Many people want to change things in their lives, but few take action. You are definitely one of the few. Important: if this ebook has helped you in any way, then I need a favor from you. Please click the link below and opt into my subscriber list. I only require that. Give me your email. You don't owe me anything, but it would greatly appreciate it to subscribe, as I can help you further with your weight loss goals. http://www.easyweightloss.com/ Over the next couple of days I am going to sending you some more tips on weight loss. I'm also going to introduce you to a special program I highly recommend that has helped many people achieve their goals. So please sure to check your email for that information I will be sending you over the next couple of days. If this ebook hasn't helped you just one bit, then don't worry about subscribing to my list. I still wish you well with your weight loss goals. Yours truly, Susan Jones.